First and foremost, based on a number of discussions and client meetings that I have been having in the last so many years, one thing really stands out, and that is really the shift in the mind that is required for any of us wanting to grow our business. Yesterday, I was talking to you about Dr. Ellie Goldratt, from whom I have learned so much. And late in the evening, there was a webinar about what we can learn from Dr. Ellie. And one of the persons who was working with him for many, many years, he said, Dr. Ellie used to have this thing of questioning everything. So you might have heard of a phrase called sky is the limit. So he says, Ellie would say, sky is not the limit. So in the same manner, each of us have kind of got into a comfort zone. And COVID has only reinforced this thing about the comfort zone. Kya kare, what can I do? Business is not so good. Customers are not coming. Quality issues. Vendors are having a challenge. My inventory is not moving. My staff is not motivated enough. I have a lot of issues within the showroom. I have a lot of personal issues. I have no time at all to do these improvements. So, the list is literally endless. And that I'm just telling you from the top of my mind based on what people have been talking to us. But this is not a cribbing session. This is not even an, April 1st, April Fool's Day session. Of course, I just read that, Ola has started a air taxi service. Only tomorrow we will know whether it is true or it was an April Fool's Day joke. But I think at a more serious level, the government has announced and withdrawn these small savings interest rates. I believe there is a large middle class population which is increasingly worried about the falling interest rates. Whether this rate will maintain or come down, that's a separate point, again, on which we have no control. But the fact of the matter is the trend on the interest rates is going down. I think in Japan, it is the customer has to pay the bank money to keep his money in the bank, right? That's below zero interest rates. What does it mean for retailers like us? I think it is our responsibility to communicate to the consumer that, you have to manage your portfolio. Does gold as an investment, right? Does it make sense? Does gold and diamond jewelry make sense? These are some of the things which we need to address. And this is the time to address, to build and sustain that market. Lots of people were saying, people are moving away from one category of investment or one category to another category, right? People have kind of, let's say, not wanting to buy into, let's say, housing. They are moving into experiences. They don't want to invest in cars. So Maruti has come up with a rent-a-car scheme. Maybe 2 years back, if somebody inside Maruti had said that, we will rent cars, I'm sure lots of people within the Maruti system would have laughed it away. Who will rent a car, right? I'm not talking about one day. These are a car rental for 2 years. Now you can actually go to a Maruti showroom and rent a car for 2 years and return it at the end of 2 years. So maybe there is a mindset shift. Now, is it sustainable? I don't know. Sorry. But what Maruti is doing is they are experimenting. In the same manner, we as gem and jewelry retailers or even retailers in general have to figure out and experiment. And for that, it requires truly a mindset shift. Now, talking of mindsets, there are two kinds of people in our retailing business. There are I'll use the word seniors, right? There are the seniors who are running the family business for a long time and probably will continue for a as long as they can. The challenge for them is that their family members are no longer or wanting to get into the same business. So there is the second or even a third generation people who have been in the business now for 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, who have another 20, 30 years to go in this business. And they've been in this business long enough that they just can't shut it and move into a completely different area tomorrow morning. And this is really addressed to that group of people. I time and again hear that we are stuck in what I now call as the red zone. There are some people who have done better than us, which is the yellow zone. And there are some people who are in the green zone, who have done exceedingly well for themselves. And once upon a time, 15, 20 years back, maybe we were all in the same success rates. We all had 1 showrooms or 2 showrooms. And while we have remained in 2 showrooms, these guys have opened 4, somebody has opened 30. Or I have remained with 1,000 square feet. My dad's remained with 1,000 square feet showroom. I have remained in that 1,000 square feet showroom, whereas these people have built a 5,000, 8,000 square feet showrooms. Neither is good or bad. I'm not making a value judgment on it. But what I would urge you to do, and which is what we do when we work with our individual clients, is build a plan for yourself. Build a business plan. Once upon a time, Sony people apparently had a 150-year business plan, right? At least you must have a plan for the next 2 to 5 years. At a mota level, you should have a plan for the next 3 to 5 years. Maybe then there is a plan what you want to do over the next 1 year. Then bring it down to next, at least until Akshaya Tritiya, which is two months away. Only when you start building on this, then every decision that you start or have to make or making is connected to this plan. Should I buy more stock? Okay. What would it mean in terms of your annual plan? What would it mean in terms of your overall profitability? What would it mean in terms of upstocking before the season? Similarly, should you expand? Should you not expand? For the last 9 months, probably people had stopped a lot of expansions. A few expansions did happen, but I presume they were all commitments made before COVID. Post October, November, people started thinking one more time, saying that I think we should remove from the cold storage and start looking for expansion again. Again, in the last 10-15 days, again the COVID problem is suddenly increasing. Now maybe lots of people are wondering, no, should I go back, wait until this whole COVID thing finally settles down? And just today I was reading somewhere, they're talking in the next 2 to 3 years before the entire world population gets inoculated, vaccination done for 2 times at least, so that there is 90% protection. And that is really 2 to 3 years. Now, are you then going to wait for this next 2 to 3 years before you decide on whether you should expand or not expand? So maybe a via media is like the way the Maruti people are doing, is instead of opening a 5,000 square feet showroom, open a 1,000 square feet showroom, open only the ground floor and see whether the market is willing to absorb an additional supply in the market, whether the consumers are coming, right? So your risks are less, but you're still taking cautiously optimistic roadmaps going into the future. But each of this is a mindset shift, right? That is something which I really, really want you to do. Now, the next question is, how do I do these mindset shifts? So one suggestion that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, at least officially on live, is really fix every day 2 o'clock as your personal learning hour. Whether it is you or your team, work to build a learning cycle at 2 o'clock. And all we are asking is a 25-minute break from your 8 or 10-hour work life. Take the 25 minutes, learn something, and apply that. And what should you learn? I go back to what should be your business plan. What should be your business plan? What is your expansion? So, for example, one of the things that we are seeing is the business owners have limited knowledge on, let's say, digital marketing. So if you can take that 25 minutes and learn a little bit more about digital marketing, then you're a lot more aware of what you need to do, how much to invest, where to market, where not to market, should you advertise, what should be your daily budget, etc., etc., etc. When you do this, then you can ask your digital agency the right kind of questions. Now, is this getting out of the comfort zone? Yes, it is getting out of the comfort zone. But the point here is that if your goal is to grow by 20% this year and you need 20% incremental customers, then you also have to make that effort to get maybe 30% incremental customers so that you get 20% incremental business. So my urge to all of you in this happy new financial year is really to make a mindset shift, move to build a goal for the next 2 years to 5 years. And we are always there to help you if you want. We'll charge you for that. And make this 2 o'clock as a learning 25 minutes, not only for yourself, but also for your team. Please give us your feedback. We have a wonderful webinars coming. There's another webinar coming in tomorrow at 2 o'clock. If you want to start your learning journey with us, reach out to Rahul on 96320814005. We'll put the registration link below. And please make that effort to move out of the comfort zone. Being in the comfort zone is probably easy. That's what we think. But there's a beautiful book called What Got You Here Won't Get You There. So if you really want to go there, right, then you need to do something different. Once upon a time, we could argue that, as long as I kept repeating what I did, I will get the same results. Today, after COVID, if you continue to do what you did, there is no guarantee that you'll get the same results. Forget about a new set of goals and aspirations that you have. So I invite you one more time. Please make a point to come and join us tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We've got lots of enrollments already, and take the benefit of this webinar tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Thank you and see you soon.